Hello, friends. How are you today? I'm pretty good myself. Today, I'm going to talk about uh, lists, uh, specifically my grocery and to do lists for workers who work for me, because sometimes, like in my case, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. Main things that people with ADHD are unable to do is organize. And guess who's organized? I'm a good organizer. I probably should have gone into a career as organizing parties or organizing get-togethers because I'm good at that kind of thing. I'm good at organizing my house. I'm very compartmentalized on how I do paperwork. I'm very good at paperwork. The kind of jobs I had was always doing paperwork, so obviously not an ADHD thing whatsoever. However, if I have always had the messy house problem and the house being organized because I couldn't keep up with it. And now that I have a helper who helps me with housekeeping and I can do other stuff because she does the main things, I can keep up with more things. So my house is more organized because I have help with it. But that's not today's subject. Today's my list because people get such a laugh out of my grocery list. I have a worker who goes and buys my groceries for me, and my lists are always comprised because I'm so picky about what I want because I have to be careful about what I eat and so I'm always looking at the amounts of the sugar grams or all this stuff. So my lists got to be when I do not put eggs, bread, milk. No, that is not my list. Mine says the brand, it says the size, it says the price. At the end of the month, the price is very important because you can't buy something else that costs $2 more or it'll go over how much money I have in the bank, that kind of thing. So my lists list the brand and the item and then the size and the cost and how much I want of that. And then it tells you what aisle you can find it in. So I do that thinking it'll make it easier for my workers and stuff. But really, because then underneath that, it'll say, and if they don't have that, then get this or get this or get this. So I'll have up to 2 to 5 different choices of what to get as an alternate because I want specifically what I want and stuff. But people look at the lists and their eyes go cross because there's all this, most things they say when you're writing, people only read the first sentence and the last sentence, or they only read the beginning or the end. Well, they kind of do that with lists too. So that can be detrimental if you have too much information there. But it takes hours to do my list because they're so detailed. And supposedly ADHD people can't do that. So that is one of my odd things that I can do in spite of having. My lists are long. Even a list that only has 5 items on it will take up a whole page because I have so many details added on just to make sure you get the specific thing I want. And if they don't have that, get the specific alternate and stuff like that. That does not work if your worker doesn't read or know how to read or like to read, or they'll just. One example is recently I was talking with my sister about making a list for a friend in the building I live in who has bed bugs, and I've had bed bugs, and I'm practically an expert on them. Not totally an expert, but I know a lot about bed bugs. And I was trying to tell him what he needed to do to get rid of them. And my sister says, well, you can make him a list. She says, but don't make one of your lists. Make a list people can understand. Well, he wouldn't know, like I said, people just won't read that much, and stuff like that. But I just have a lot of details. I have the perfectionist curse, and I put every detail in hopes I'll be perfectly understood and end up with the results I'm less understood because people take one look at the list and they're like, I'm not going to read that, or they don't read the whole thing. Even my current worker doesn't read the whole thing and stuff, but she at least does get the right item every time and that kind of thing. So that's the thing with lists and stuff. And supposedly ADHD person wouldn't even be able to compose one of those. And it is really hard every stinking week. That's for sure, to come up with the grocery list. That's pretty hard to do for me, but I do have to do it. And sometimes she has to sit here and wait because it takes forever. But that's that's me in grocery lists. All kinds of lists. I have lists for everything because I can't remember anything and that kind of thing. But if you ever have to do one of my grocery lists, it'd be like, good God, what is this? So much details. And I was like, yeah, but if you don't read it and get exactly what it says, I'm not going to be happy. So there's that. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye.